This is how we do it when you rock it with me. Yeah, I've been staying in and working, making bread instead.
Oh man, this is the order I would say. Number 3 is the Grindstone 100. It's a 100-mile ultra marathon. The first 100-mile race I ever completed. And I say that it's number 3 because it's physically the most demanding one I've ever done. But at the same time, it was like one of the most enjoyable because when you're in the mountain, when you're in the trail, it's different than being in the streets of New York City or Boston where people are raving and they're going crazy and they're yelling your name and cheering you on. There's no one out there. Like, you need to find levels of grit and solitude and be appreciative of that. But that would be number 3. And then number 2 and 1 is a toss-up. I think I would have to say number 2 would be Boston and number 1 would be New York. And off sheer just enjoyment of soaking in the energy. For me, I'm the type of person that a lot of people see me on social and they see me and they're like, yo, you're so extroverted, you're so this. And I'm like, if most people actually that know me, like, I'm very introverted. I gain a lot of my energy from my own solitude. And in that solitude, I'm able to show up as someone that can give that energy back, right? But a lot of people, they overcompensate. They're like, yo, I need to be around all these people and like, I only want to be extroverted. I'm like, well, if you never find what the other side is about, then you're always going to be off balance. So for me, I live a life of 51-49, 51% introverted, where I need to just figure out like what fuels my soul. I put myself first before anyone else. And in moments when you're a creator, everyone wants your shit. They want your time. They want you to talk to them. They want you to take a picture. They want all those things. And if you're not solid inside, all of that shit goes to shambles. So I always protect my own energy first. But in those races, there are moments where it's special. The shit that happens on those streets of New York City, where I kind of grew up somewhat, it's one of the best days in the city, in my opinion. You have a million people that don't know each other, that are cheering on strangers, wishing them the best. And it's actually what America's about, period. And I think in that moment, I realized, I'm like, I don't care if I run fast. I don't care what my time is. I just want to be present in this moment and soak that shit in. It took me 4 hours and 20 minutes to finish the marathon, slowest marathon I've ever completed. But it was by far the most enjoyable experience since I've gotten into running, period.
Sometimes it's all about just soaking in the moment.
So many people get so locked into like times, PRs, and they lose what makes it fun. And it's the people, it's sharing the moments. And look, I'm all about running fast. Like, there's time and a place to run fast. Like, you shouldn't do everything for PR. You shouldn't do everything just for fun either. But to find that happy medium, the balance of that, it's up to each individual. But so many people get burnt out in running because they just only want to hit a PR because that's how they would get validated. Like, I can do this. And maybe because I already hit the sub 3, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I did this shit. So like, you want to run it again? Like, I fucking ran sub 3. Like, I checked that off the list. So like, now it's like, I want to do the other stuff, you know, and show people that you can experience this in a different way.
Yeah, living the moment's important. Sometimes you just may never get it again. I mean,
Facts.
Conor McGregor, the first time when he was supposed to fight Jose Aldo the first time, but he ended up fighting Chad Mendes. And at the weigh-ins, like the post-fight, like everything was done, his interviews after, he was like, I just wish I lived more in that moment. And he was like, I was just too caught up in like the emotion. He was like, just wish I lived more in that moment. And obviously, he's gotten again. But some people just, they get that one time and they're just gone after that.
100%. That was a great fight, by the way.
Yeah, I was there.
Were you?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Chad Mendes put up a good fight, dude.
Yeah, I was a little scared, but that was fun. Last thing for me, goals this year, my personal goals within your media company, within content creation. What are those looking like for you back half of the year? Yeah,
I think there's instantly the first two things I think of is, one, I'm doing a lot more consulting for creators, and I'm sure we'll be chatting about that in the next week here. Yeah. Where I want to just build different revenue streams. Like, I love partnerships, but for me, it's like I want to be able to stand on my own my own feet of like, yo, my business can operate with if I dropped all my sponsors, if I dropped all my partnerships. I don't want to solely rely on that. Even it's a big part of my business, but I don't want to just rely on that. So I'm building out a consulting business. That's kind of on the business side. But on the physical, like running side, this is something that is true to, it's just like, it resonates with me. But I want to go back to Korea and I want to run this trail. It's called the Four Rivers Trail. It's 393 miles. It starts in Seoul and it goes all the way through Korea, South Korea, to this spot at the very bottom called Busan. And I want to run 15 marathons in 15 days.
Wow.
So a lot of the prep I've done might not be enough to get me ready for that. But part of the reason of me wanting to do a marathon a month is that I want to get so used to this distance that it's not, I can run a marathon tomorrow. Straight up. That I get so comfortable with it that doing it 15 days straight, I'll be able to accomplish it. So part of that is like not just the physical feat, but I want to showcase one, I haven't been back to Korea in 21 years. I went when I was 8 years old. So I want to also just go back to culture and show immigrants like, yo, a lot of us get born in America. Like I'm an Asian American. I was born in Jersey. I didn't get to go back to Korea and see what it's like in my own country, you know? And when I was growing up, like I was super embarrassed to be Korean. I used to get picked on all the time. Like my mom would pack me like Asian lunches and shit. And like people would be like, what the fuck are you eating? You know, all that kind of like the shit that you get when you're younger. Cause like you want to fit to Western society. Mm-hmm. So I want to just be a type of person that one challenges himself, but also showcases for other immigrants. Like, yo, you should be proud of where you came from. Go seek it. Go be curious about it. And like, you know, even when I go there, I might get shit on from the Koreans that live there. Cause they're gonna be like, yo, you're Korean. You're dark as shit. You don't speak any Korean. Right? So there's always reverse racism too of your own kind. But nonetheless, that trip is something that I'm really looking my eyes on. November 1st through the 15th. Those will be the 15 days I run. And that'll cover 394 miles, which will be this entire bike trail.
You already have that booked and everything? Oh, so that's
well, the travel's not necessarily booked, but right now I'm pitching it to brands. So I'm right now trying to just raise money for sponsorships. Yeah. Because logistically it's a nightmare to do something like this.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
like
expensive.
Yeah. So it's like from travel, from media help, from production, from operations, from food and hotel and like lodging, all that shit, dude. It starts to add up. But in exchange, there's going to be a shit ton of content. So a brand or multiple brands could be a part of something like this to then get exposure, not only on YouTube in the sense of like a series, but also obviously through short form content and things of that sort.
That'd be a cool little docu-series.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. See, because CJ, he's half Filipino. He got
If you guys enjoyed that clip, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to Opinionated Media. You can find us at Opinionated Media on all social medias. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you guys like clips like these, make sure you guys stay tuned for more.